Hey, you guys, are we live? Are we ready to go?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Awesome. So we are here for our second email review. We've got the best in class people here who are going to break this down. Jesse is unable to be with us today as his wife is having a baby. So we are going to take over. We're going to break this down and share some insights with you guys to help you grow and learn. So if we want to do kind of a quick intro, share a bit about each one of us. And Joyce, you want to start?
Yeah, sure. I'm Patrick Joyce. I came up as an SDR. I spent, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years in those types of roles, and then started working with Justin Michael, just put out tech powered sales. And then from there, I got into some freelance consulting, helping teams that are building their outbound sales functions. I worked with Aaron Ross at Predictable Revenue. And now I'm working for an agency called Title Consulting, helping some teams go and get meetings for their sales team.
I'm Kenny Baldo. I've been a consummate salesman since the mid-'90s. Some of you might not have even been born. My CRM was the Yellow Pages, and the margins come from cold calling door to door, and obviously email outreach. I've started a few small bootstrap companies in various different industries. I've been on the sales side of the equation throughout my whole career, and had VP of sales roles for various different companies.
Awesome. Well, I am Amelia Taylor. I am your host with these guys today. I am at Seamless.ai. I'm working with our sales team and our marketing team, doing a lot of account-based selling, account-based marketing, and finding the right ends and the right ways to go about really reaching high-level prospects in the enterprise space, and in a very strategic way with the strategic approach. So very much so a hunter, and creating new ways to go about doing things. So excited to break this down. We've got Tucker over in our studio. Tucker, if you want to hop in, chime in, share any insights before we break this down.
I think he's going to stay incognito.
Good. All right, cool. So you want to go back in order? Let's see what we got, you guys.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, sure. Let's go for it.
Okay, so let's just think about this. The first thing I want to say is that none of this is personal. I mean, look at my sweatshirt, 100% SDR. I am all an advocate for the SDR. So all this is intended to be productive, constructive feedback. But that said, it is going to get a little, dicey at times. But I'm not attacking the person. Is the idea, and I want everybody to get better from it. So that's where I'm coming from. I do this a lot. I write a lot of emails. Basically, over the course of my career, I've pretty much specialized in cold email. So I have some strong feelings about this stuff. I think the best way to do it is to sort of pick this apart and even do like a live rewrite. Like as I'm reading this, like there's some good ideas in there, but we need to tighten this down and make it easier to read and make it a little bit more compelling. One of the things that I notice it's missing, okay, is your team currently evaluating sales enablement or sales asset management solution to ensure your sellers can quickly find, customize, and share content and training materials? Like that is just a mouthful of a sentence. Check this out and let me know if you're available for a brief 10-minute call Monday or Tuesday. You're already asking me for a meeting. I don't really know why. What am I going to get out of this? We can increase our sales team's efficiency and effectiveness. It's too vague. And then there's a link about HighSpot, a breakthrough approach to sales enablement. The breakthrough approach to me just screams marketing language. The buyer seller dance starts, right? Like this person's trying to sell me something. They must be lying. They have to not be telling me the truth. Like, so I'm automatically repelled by this message. But I think one of the ways that we could remedy this is if we had some type of an outcome from a customer. Like that's what it's missing. That's the information I don't have. But can I share my screen? Is that possible? Or is that locked? No, it's locked. So I can't rewrite it. But here's what I was going to say. Is your team currently evaluating asset management tools for sales? Full stop. Right? It's just a cleaner way to say the exact same thing. And then give me a customer story about how their sellers were able to find, customize, and share content quicker, and then what that did for their sales team. Like, give me the outcome, like very, very quickly. So a lot of the right ideas are there. And then the CTA, you know, we go right into this 10-minute call. Like, I don't want to mention how long it is. I just want to ask the person, is that interesting? Right? Like, if this makes sense to you, should we set up some more time to talk? Right? Like, I don't need to pitch them the whole meeting and, like, you know, all this stuff. It's just like, look, are you guys looking at sales asset management tools? Like, does this make any sense? All you're trying to do is find the yes amongst the sea of no's. You're going to get a bunch of no's. Your job is not to convince the person. You're right. You're not going to twist somebody's arm into a meeting. It's like, if they're evaluating this stuff, you're looking for like a maybe a 2% chance on the whole market, right? In any market, no more than 2% of the prospects are in an active buying window, right? Maybe 40% of them are experiencing some type of latent pain with their current solution, and they might be willing to entertain some type of, you know, an alternative. But overall, this email just doesn't seem very human. It seems like a marketing person wrote it, and the exact same thing could have gone to hundreds of thousands of people. And I'm not clicking that link. Like, my security team, you know, my corporate security team told me, if there's links and emails, please don't click them. It's going to give you a virus. You're going to get phished or something like that. So instead of putting the link there, just describe to me what's in the link, right? Like, what's there? This is a problem that I see all the time, is that teams mix up their outbound sales function with their inbound marketing function, right? Like, the stuff that we're trying to get them to land on is marketing tools. Like, this is like a marketing technique. Like, we want them to go to the website, but the people that are actively searching for a tool, like, they're going to go and find that stuff. That's not who you're going after with outbound sales. With outbound sales, you're going after people that are trying to do their job, and they're busy, and they're not going to go shopping in the middle of their day, right? And if they are, it's probably going to be on Amazon. It's probably going to be something for themselves, or they're going to be on rei.com, or they're going to be on newera.com buying a new baseball cap. They're not going to be at your website browsing new SaaS tools, right? So I don't know. I'll just pause there and let Kenny go for a little while.
Yeah, good feedback, Patrick. I think you might have been even too kind. I did like that you kind of pointed out the link being, you know, describe what's in the link versus, you know, click here. So a couple of things for me that stood out. You know, I like to look at emails like how I eat pizza and how I like my pizza. I like it thin and crispy, light and to the point. The first bite, which is that subject line, should want me to keep on eating, right? And keep on reading. And each word sentence should continue that excitement and engagement towards what I think is the best part of the pizza, is the crust, which in this case would be the ending. What I call a call to attention, not action. And I found this email, you know, ends and lands like it did and how it began, which is dead on arrival. The sales enablement subject line, I'm not even opening it. You know, it's like saying sales training or cold calling, or, you know, I could tell already it's a sales email. So
yeah,
it's
I'm going to waste your time is what the subject line says.
Yeah, so that's already starting out with a low open rate in my experience. He lost me. Whoever wrote this, he or she lost me at is your team. I'd rather hear something about my company, about me. Congratulations on your Series A funding. Like how you've built a, you know, easy, predictable SaaS platform for VP of sales to, you know, like put something in there about their company before you go into asking a question. You haven't earned the right to ask a freaking question yet, so don't ask me a question. I'm not answering it. I'm deleting this. The other thing is there's fancy words here for a resume. This person used Grammarly because I ran this through Grammarly. It reads well written. I don't need effectiveness and efficiencies. Those are throwaway words, very common. I don't even know what the hell that means. Let me know. Why the hell should I let you know anything? Who are you? I'm not going to let you know anything. And I think the only thing he got right or she got right in this email is thank you. And not because I'm normally not a fan of thank you, but if this person actually read through this email, they should absolutely be thanking my ass for reading it. And hopefully they gave me 2 Advil at the end because I'm not following up on this. So that's my framework breakdown. Obviously, we could rewrite this, but it's all about the framework of rewriting it for me. And there's a lot of opportunity here to wordsmith this.
Sounds good. I agree. So I think both of y'all were too kind. I hate this email. So I don't like any part of this. I don't even like where the thank you is at in the email. I don't get why it's right there. I don't know why it's hopefully there's a comma after their name, hi so and so, because they're putting the thank you comma so and so at the end. So first and foremost, sales enablement. Let's not capitalize everything because let's be human. Let's not make it look like this is a total sequence being sent out to so many people, because that's exactly what this is for a brief 10-minute call on Monday or Tuesday. So you're just readily available. You're just like, here, I'm right here. Whenever you want to talk to me, 10 minutes is all I want. Like, it's almost begging in a sense. It's if you're available. No, they're not available. This is a C-level exec. They're not going to be available for this. They don't want to take 10 minutes out of their day to talk about effectiveness and efficiency. Words, like you said, are just tossed out that people don't, they just throw them out there just as filler words to sound good. If this person was smart, they would go and they would find the people who are using tools within the company and figure out what they're using before saying, is your team currently evaluating a sales enablement or sales assessment management solution? So why not go inside the company, find those people, hey, curious, what are you guys using right now? Figure out what it is and have a conversation to know what the pain points might be so you can leverage that first and foremost. You can say, hey, after speaking to some of your reps, so this was kind of the verdict that we came across. Give a percentage of your, 8 out of 10, 5 out of 10 reps shared that they're having problems with XYZ. Would that be worth 10 minutes? Not 10 minutes. I'm going 15. Let's be smarter here. Let's bring value. Let's go 15. Would that be worth 15 minutes of your time to share with what your company is saying, what the people who make up your company are saying? Who is this email being sent out to as well? That's a big thing. Is it being blasted to everyone within the company? Is this only C-suite? Who is this? Because that's the big thing for me as well. Again, like Patrick said, like, I'm not clicking that link. I'm not doing it. If you're not going to tell me what's in that link prior, hey, here's a breakdown of what I'm going to share in this link below. Figured I'd give you the cliff notes real quick just to help give you a simple version of it prior to you to make sure that there's potential for alignment. I don't want to waste your time or mine. Make your time valuable too. You're just as valuable as they are. I'm not a fan of that at all.
A great point here, because think about this. We're selling to sales. This is an email to probably a VP of sales.
Right.
So who are the most available people at any company are the sales reps.
Right.
So you can go and message 10 sales reps at the company and be like, hey, do you guys use any kind of asset management tool yet? Which one are you using? Do you like it? Do you have any, there's no pain point here, but it's very, very easy information to find out. It's not going to be time intensive for you to go and dig that out because you're selling to sales. I didn't even think of that on the first go, on the first pass, but I think that's an excellent point because that's a relevant personalization piece. right? It's not just like, hey, I noticed you like water skiing on Instagram. It's like, hey, I talked to people at your company and they mentioned a bottlenecked workflow when they were trying to get assets out to their customers. Bobby from sales told me that. I thought we might be able to help. Like that's so much sharper of an email, and it doesn't take
champions and the people that are going to they're going to go with you through the sale. Leverage those people to build the trust, and the reps. I mean, I'm not a bottom up kind of fan, but when it comes to doing your due diligence here, go bottom up real quick. It doesn't take long. Spend 15 minutes. Reach out to those people on LinkedIn to say, "Hey, salesperson, like, I'm curious. What are you guys doing? Is it working?" There's going to be respect given when you're just human and you're just simply reaching out, asking a question, hoping to help you guys do this. Not sure if it's like.
I think if you're dealing with low ACV, high transactional industry, I come from both, but predominantly lower ACV, high transactional. Salespeople are pressured to perform, quickly, rapidly, and may not feel they have the time, or they think they don't have the time to leverage, multiple emails to internal people at a company. When they can knock out, I'm making it up, 10 of these versus, to 10 different companies. And then instead of, following through with, 10 different people at one company. So I think there's a way to craft this regardless, with some commonality across the industry that you're going after, and know your ICP. And quite frankly, I don't even need to know, is your team evaluating? I mean, yes, no, who cares?
Like Joyce said, if they're evaluating, they're going to come find you.
Yeah, so I think it just starts off on the wrong message to begin with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I share my screen really quick, because I found this and I found some good stuff. Is this possible? Yeah, right. Can you guys see this?
No,
No,
I can't. Now,
wait.
Nope. Now I see you closer. There we go. No,
right?
no, there we go.
Brilliant.
Here's what I'm going to do. So look, this is I think the landing page. I Google searched the text that the link was, and it gives me all of these really nice stats, right? How having highly engaged employees correlates with 30 percentage point improvement in quota attainment. Why reporting to a revenue leader is correlated with a 6 percentage point improvement in customer retention. While those above average in communicating sales enablement value are 2.3 times as likely to exceed expectations in collaborating with executives. Okay, so let's just see if I can slam this out really quick. Okay. So I go like this. Hey, first name. Curious if you're open to evaluating.
Hey, how about, because we're done to do this, what about, I've gotten good traction with starting out with, this might be worth exploring.
Yeah, I like that.
This way you just eliminate a whole you then go into what you're about to say. I'm just throwing that out there.
Lost a little bit with the curious if you're open. I'm not
a big fan of curious if you're open. No.
I legitimately use this opener on like almost every email that I send, and I get good results with it. But I'm here.
What's your subject line?
My subject line is this: growth, all lowercase, almost every time.
Huh.
Listen, if you're getting, I just posted something, the only stat I trust is the ones I create. So if you're getting positive outcomes from whatever you're doing, whoever's on this live feed, then obviously continue doing it, tweaking, and continue to get better outcomes. Because there's so many variables that matter. So, if we're critiquing Patrick or someone's critiquing me, it may resonate with you, be like, what, that doesn't work for me. Like growth does not work for me. Like I wouldn't use growth, but Patrick's getting great outcomes from that. Yeah. I would put,
you don't have to take all advice.
Yeah, I would put something that's immediately in the first sentence, which is, I usually do worth exploring. I try to keep it to 3 words or less.
Right. Like I like to name drop a lot. I think that there's so much value there.
Yeah.
So with name dropping, hey, first name, even if we stuck with the curious, if you were open to check whatever, evaluating asset management tools for your sales team. I spoke with so and so who shared with me that 4 out of 10 of your reps are having XYZ problem. Would it be worth exploring? You know, I would go that route a little bit more. But like you said, like if Patrick's getting great responses back with what he's doing right now, try A/B test stuff. Figure it out. Figure out what works best for you and the way that you are going to deliver this in the most like humanly way possible, to where you're not a salesperson. You're going to be a trusted advisor. You're going to be someone who's going to bring value to them, opposed to someone who's trying to pitch and sell. You're not trying to just, you're not asking just for their time, just so you can have, you know, your meeting booked or your whatever percentage go up, first booked and held. And, you know, are you a rep, or are you someone who I can trust, who's genuinely trying to help me?
The sales team to be more engaged and efficient. If it makes sense.
As you're doing that, one of the companies I started called 365 Competitors, we sold to race event directors for marathons, triathlons, and I started the first race refund insurance. And they would, I knew from the industry, about 20-30% of registrants would register within the first several months of opening. And then there would be a lag forever. So I created a product, but in the emails and in the conversations was mentioning that stat, that data, that 20-30% of your registrants register within the first 4 months. How would you like to improve that to 50 or 60%? Boom, that's it, done, because it creates curiosity. They know exactly what that does for them. It gives them more money in a quicker time frame, and do it all without lowering your registration fees or discounting them. And now have the ability to actually advertise that you now have a refund policy, or insurance policy. So there's what you really need to know, be the buyer. It was easy for me because I'm a runner and I'm in that world, but you really need to live like the buyer. And then these emails become succinct. As I said, you know, light, thin and crispy and to the point. You know, this way, within one sentence, a call to attention, you're done. And they'll find you. I mean, I don't have to tell them, you know, let me know what day and time works for you. And, you know, here's my calendar link. You know,
Right. There's a lot going in there, you know, but if you're bringing the value, you don't have to drop all that in there. They're going to respond back to you. There's going to be a conversation.
Yeah. The problem is most reps, including myself, when it's a new product, a new business, don't really know know that information. So they're very broad in their approach. They're not honing in on the exact key drivers of moving them from their current situation to a better tomorrow. And that's hard, you know, and you know, as a sales rep, you got to really, when you interview with these opportunities, you need to really be able to understand not only their USP, but what's that's the overarching USP of the company, but what's the USP of each ICP I'm going after, right? Whether it's, you know, I'll call it operator, management, and then decision makers, and for some complex enterprise deals, it could be 7 or different ICPs. So each one has a unique USP as an ICP.
So what do you guys think of this? I'm curious if you guys can tear my email down now, because feel free. Like I've got thick skin. Like Kenny was saying, I know this stuff works for me, but I can always get better. So and then maybe, you know, comparing this to the original, like, do you think I made it any better?
Absolutely. Yes, it's better than the original one. Wish we could see it side by side. Let's see, we've seen 30% improvement in quota attainment. I think still honing in on the, after speaking with some of your reps, or like name dropping, I think that would be huge value right there, of saying, instead of we've seen, like what we've seen, share that maybe.
Can you go back to your email?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that I mean, listen, I could write an email right now and it'll be I can change it 5 different times if I move it to 5 different monitors
Yeah.
and look at it on my phone versus a monitor versus a big screen versus throwing it to Grammarly, and then all of a sudden I have a whole different email than I started with. So this is about going from a rating, I'm making it up of 4.9 to 5.5, and then from 5.5 to 6.8. It's not going from, you're not going to go from an email, it's
Sure.
progress. So one
And
of the
I
things
need like 30 seconds too. Like I just pulled this a blurb off the site, but you're right. If I spent more time on it,
But
yeah,
right. It doesn't take long for it. It took you 2 minutes, 2 seconds, whatever, to literally pull that up and get like actual data on this,
I think that's the key is data, and I still think it's heavy about us. We've seen 30%. How
yeah,
would 30% improvement?
Where are we?
yeah.
How would 30% improvement, or how interested would you be in having 30% improvement on ... If you
Listen,
are, we might want to have a conversation. If that doesn't interest you, at least you know it exists.
I have an email that I like to send out where it's if we could XYZ this for your team, like I shared with so and so, would that be worth 15 minutes of your time? And then throwing the statistics out there, saying what we've done, giving a proper, with so and so company, we've been able to do this with them. Say a competitor, throw that name out there, just drop the hammer and say, is it worth your time? If so, great. If no, if this is going to benefit them, if it's going to help their reps do better, if it's going to help their teams perform better, if it's going to bring in more ROI overall, then that's the goal. But in the first email, there was nothing about that made me want to jump on it. I mean, it'd be deleted because first it's sales enablement and both capitalized. I don't like that. Like you said, Patrick, like you doing all lowercase growth. Like I like that. I'll ask question like growth question mark in my emails. Sometimes I feel like that helps. I mean, did this email get delivered? Did a ton of this go to spam? I'm going to say yes. Based off of just the subject line itself. I think it's not hard to do your homework, figure out who it is that you are going to target, and drop some really key points and factors and statistics that are going to actually resonate with that individual, opposed to, like you said, the first liner being, hey, I know that you love to go water skiing, whatever. Great. Who cares? Right. So if it's, hey, spoke with so-and-so over here, on your whatever team, they share with me that this is the pain point you guys are having. Reached out to a few of your reps. They also share the same. If we could do XYZ for your company like we did with so-and-so company, would that be worth 15 minutes of your time? If not, happy to part ways with friends. Happy to schedule something for later this week. Let me know. Simplicity, be simple, but drop the value.
Yeah, and I think the one of the things that for me is important is to bring in their current pain, and I don't see it in any of these emails. And the word pain is, you don't use the word pain. You don't ask what's the pain. But what I know in 365, their pain was that they weren't able to get enough money in soon enough to pay for vendors, permits, finisher medals, finisher shirts. So they were needing to lay out their own money to do that. So you want to get that into that email, and this way they say, wow, this person knows me. They took the words right out of my mouth. And we have a solution, right? We can increase your early registration by 20%, but don't tell them how. I wouldn't give them a freaking link. Most links go into spam anyway. And curious to find out more, worth having a conversation, whatever you want to say at the end, like that. You've already gave him enough call to attention to say, yeah, let me respond back. I know, Patrick, you're wordsmithing this like a madman.
There we go. That's it.
I think that was great. That is so much better. Like I like this a lot because it says a company's name, you're name dropping a company to where there's, everyone knows who Twitter is. We know the company, and they couldn't find this. This was their pain point. Now what they're able to do is this. So 90%, dropping the percentage adoption with us. So that's huge. Like after they're switching. So obviously, does it make sense? Yeah. Why would it not make sense if it's going to help maybe their reps do the same thing?
Yeah, I mean, and I'm just like
It's simple.
turning this around a couple different times to try to get it to look right. But what I'm doing is going to the case study and pulling the nuggets out of it. What were the outcomes? Like
Right.
what the pain point was that they couldn't find the content. It was hard to find. They weren't organized. Everything was crazy. Now, 90% of their reps are using HighSpot, and they can find their content and pitch within 30 seconds. That's major, right? So it says almost the same thing that the first email said, but this is now specific to a story, right? This is going to be a million times stronger than just saying that they're going to be more efficient and more effective.
Patrick, go back to your rewrite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, also what's important is, you kind of put the problem in here, right? Twitter reps cannot find important content.
Yeah.
So, and what's important, I think, someone wrote, the original one, I think, sounded very scripted. Once you do the research on your industry and the ICP and you block time your day that, all right, I'm going to contact all VP of sales at these types of companies. The messaging, if it could be the same, and you may not need to pull out directly from what's going on with them, but the industry standards that are going on. But and then obviously you can throw it into a cadence or whatever. But I think to humanize this email a little bit further and make it still sound like Patrick took time to actually send this personalizing it to me. That's why I like, I like hey or hi. I use hi, but hey is fine too. But, hi, Patrick, this might be worth exploring, ... For me, that, is I would say that to someone in person. Hey, Rich, this might be worth considering, ... So really, when you look at this, ask yourself, would I really have a conversation with this person if they were in front of me as it reads via email? I guarantee you, probably Patrick's email, we could clean up to be more colloquial. Am I pronouncing that right? Conversational.
Sure.
We'll go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll edit that. We'll edit that out in the final version.
But that's the part that, thanks. And then it has your initials, that's the part where it's not just going to be thanks or cheers or talk soon, whatever. And then it's just it's just going to be your signature, it's showing that you took you took the time to write the email. Like, thanks. That's how you would sign off normally. Right. So it shows that it makes it not so cadence-like, so sequence-like, to where it's being blasted out to so many. And great, do that, blast it out to so many, but put the thanks and then do your initials, whatever, to where it would be you're just having a conversation. Be as conversational as possible.
So John wants to know what's the score of the original email, or someone does. Yeah, I think John. So why don't we do that? And thank you for reminding us that's what this is about.
Yes.
So
our leader here, Jesse, has come in with a 2.1, folks.
Jesse's brutal.
Okay, so the original was 2.1.
2.1 is what he came in with. What you got, Joyce?
I'm going to give it a 2.0.
Wow. You guys I thought I was a tough critic. What do you got?
For me?
Yeah.
I didn't like any of it. I mean, I'm going 1.8. I'm going low. I really don't like any of it. I would not. This is a delete email, so why would I give it anything?
Yeah, I'm going to switch my vote to this is going to be like a 1.5, because that's the percentage. I think if you send 100 emails, you might get one meeting out of this.
All right, so you guys are tough. I'm gonna be the good guy here. I'm gonna give it a 3.9, and the reason being is, listen, it's stuff is spelt right. The format's good. He's got some white space. The intent is there. It's a terrible tasting pizza. I wouldn't go back. So that's definitely not going to get good scores. But there's this person just needs to understand a little more research and fact finding and understand the problem. So I'll go with a 3.9.
Okay. All right. So our host over in the studio, Tucker, is telling us that the overall score is a 2.3. So and like Patrick said at the very beginning, this is all for helping the growth of reps who are sending emails out to be, I don't want to steal the lines of this email, be more effective and efficient, but truly it is in that hope for us to just help each other. Let's grow and let's help one another be better and do better and understand more than what they're being taught. So
yeah, and if anyone, if this is me and you're critiquing this, if I'm not capable or able to digest this all and say, you know what, there's a better way, and there's always a better way, then that person's not coachable and probably shouldn't be on the team anyway.
Yeah, you got to learn.
So we're that's what this was about. So good stuff here.
Love it. This is great. Well, any final parting words, you guys?
I don't know. Any questions from the live audience? Is that possible? Does anyone want to throw a question in?
Yeah, please do. I've got a few minutes.
I got another 3 minutes.
You got 3 minutes, people. What you got?
Because once we're off, we're like Phantom. You'll never see us again.
We are. Yeah. Probably find us. But...
Someone put it's a bagel. I thought that was funny.
It's a bagel.
I don't. It's funny. I don't know what it means, but it's a bagel. I guess it means it's pretty boring. Although I like it. I think what this person would rather have seen was it's an everything bagel.
Right. What is it? An everything bagel? What is it? Like, share a couple quick tips. Okay. Sure. Don't put all capitalized letters in your subject line. Don't put a link in the email. Be relevant to that person, be personalized. You don't have to hyper personalize things. Become a customer of that potential buyer if you can. If there's a free trial, sign up. By all means, be someone who can actually say, like, from my point of view, this is what I experienced using your tool. Bagel equals 0. So
bagel's a 0, a goose egg. Yeah, I got
we got a big old goose egg right there. I don't know what that does to our score, but we're sticking with our 2.3, but there was the 0 thrown in. All in good means. I mean, I know that Andrew's saying this just because he's trying to help us all, but it is a 0 here. But just, I mean, be as personal as you can, but don't over personalize, and make sure that you're being relevant to what actually is their pain point. Find out what their pain point is. Go online, do research, do your due diligence.
Pull the case study.
Pull the case study. It's easy.
Don't send me to a link because
if you don't. I think the key is data, going from here to here, from 10% to 30%, from whatever data, doesn't have to be necessarily percentages, and pain point. And if you don't know your prospects or buyers' pain point, and you can't show a better tomorrow through data, then you have no business even emailing them. Then it's just spray and pray, and then just I'd get out of that business and do something else.
The bagel business might be the best business.
The bagel business. That'll be my next conversation. I worked in a bagel store, but that's a whole other topic.
Yeah. No, this is good. I mean, I know that all three of us are open to helping anyone at any time when it comes to helping people become the best versions of themselves as salespeople and being able to actually perform at the highest peak that they can. I'm no guru in all things, but when you do your homework and due diligence, it goes a long way. So
that's why I did the rewrite too, because I figure if I could,
Yeah,
was
that was,
super
that,
cool.
Tearing it down.
it was
like,
nice. It was nice to tear it down and then critique it as we go, because really it's a team effort. And as a VP of sales, I bring the sales team into these conversations because I don't have all the freaking answers, and I try to see where let's create an email that makes sense, and then collectively you got whether it's 3, 5, or 10 people, whatever it is, their feedback's valuable. So I know we're over time. I think we have to jet, but
Relationships matter. Yes. In the comments. Yes, they matter big time. Exactly. 100%.
that's good. Yeah, that was a good comment. And you can find me on LinkedIn if anyone wants to shoot me an email and review an email for you or what have you. More than happy to do it. I do it often under the radar if people don't know that. But that's definitely something I do on a regular basis. All right.
Awesome. Well, it's a great show. And next week, email review. Number 3, we've got some exciting people who are coming on. And that is it for this week. Reach out to any of us if y'all have questions, but this is an awesome show. See y'all.
all right.
See you all.
guys.
Bye-bye.